Hello, and I am a Nocturnal Pagan, and today I'm going to be talking about magic and my beliefs and my thoughts on it. First thing that a listener will need for this is my definition of casting, because I'm probably going to be using that word a lot. I don't know for sure, I don't really have a script, but just in case. So my definition of casting is anything that takes energy. So I could be describing ritual, but I use the word casting. And I know they're two completely different things. My brain just uses the terms casting, self-cast, or group cast. And that is how I've simplified it, so I will apologize in advance when it's not the appropriate word for what I am describing. I just ask you bear with me. Second thing I want to cover, which really isn't necessary, but I want my thoughts out there for it, is the spelling of magic. I know some people will spell it with a K, some people will spell it with a C. To me, it doesn't matter. I do know that for some, the reason behind it is they want a written difference between show magic and actual magic. To me, that written difference doesn't matter because depending on what book I'm reading, I can determine what type of magic they're talking about. And if I can't because they're talking about both, I can pick it up off of context clues. So, that's out of the way. The third thing I wanted to talk about was the use of magic. Personally, I feel that magic can be used in everything. But there should be limitations. Or not quite limitations, but you should listen to your morals before you cast. For example, do you really need to cast a spell to help you tie your shoes? I don't think anybody does that. I'm just giving an incredibly mundane example. Like, at that point, I think you put more effort into casting than you did actually just tying the shoes. Using it for overly mundane things that aren't necessary feels inappropriate to me. What was the point? You spent more time with that cast than you did actually just going to go do the action. And on the complete flip side, I think there are things that you shouldn't use it for because of negative reasons. Like, again, this is going to be a super extreme example. I don't think anybody actually does this, but I don't think you should be casting a spell to start World War III. I don't think that's appropriate. But again, these are my personal morals and how I see casting. You do what feels right to you, but I definitely feel like if you get a gut feeling that's just like, you know what, this isn't right, I shouldn't be doing it, don't do it. Learn more, figure it out, until that gut feeling is gone. Once you are confident that you are doing the correct thing, the correct way, then I think, yeah, use magic. But other than that, in between those two extremes, magic can do anything. It's just, you definitely have to ask yourself, first of all, is it worth it? Like, am I actually going to get any benefit out of doing this, like with the shoe tying? There, in my opinion, there's no benefit there. You wasted more time than just going to go do the act. And the second thing I think everyone has to ask is it morally correct, like the other example? Am I okay doing that? With that being said, I don't see magic as snap your fingers, done. You have to put an equal amount of work in as does you want the spell to do. Okay, so the spell might help you along whatever you are casting it for, but that doesn't mean that the spell's just going to do it. It's the example of the most common spell, which I've heard from someone else, and I love this as an example. The most common spell is when somebody is like putting a washing machine in the back of the truck, and they strap it with a safety strap. And they slap it, and they go, well, that ain't going nowhere. That is the most common spell, because words have power. Now, that spell can technically fail. I don't consider it the spell failing. So, hear me out. If I put a washing machine in the back of that truck and just left the tailgate open and drove off, didn't strap it down or anything, but I said that ain't going nowhere, I did not put in my amount of work for the spell to work. So when that washing machine flies out the back of my car, totals someone else's car, that's on me. That's not the spell failed. That was, well, maybe if I put my little bit of effort in, this wouldn't be the outcome. Now, you can technically put on the strap and close the tailgate and do the same thing, but if you just kind of haphazardly threw it on there, didn't do it right, messed up, whatever the case may be, the spell can help and it might minimize the problems, but yeah, it might still fail. And of course, there's always outside sources, like if you get sideswiped by another car while driving to your destination, is that the spell's fault? No. The spell was to hold it in place while you were driving. The spell had nothing to do with other cars. So when it comes flying out because you got hit by another individual, I don't think that's the spell's fault. The spell did its job. It was the other outside things can interact. So, with that, I think we're gonna be done. There are other types of magic, like meditation can be a form of magic. It can be used as a gateway into magic. In my opinion, there's Satyr in the Norse myths, or not Norse mythos and Norse practices, not just the myths. There's ritual, there's all types of magic. It's everywhere. It's all around us. You can go out in the woods and experience magic without doing anything. Magic is out there. It's all around us. But we have to, when using it, put in an equal amount of effort. And I think that's my core belief at this point. And I hope that never changes. Thank you.